सर हो गया लाइव।
हाँ यूट्यूब पे। अच्छा उसका लिंक दे दो मेरे को, यूट्यूब लाइव का लिंक मेरे व्हाट्सएप पर डाल दो। Hello everyone, good evening to all, and today we are going to learn about Power BI, how to import data in Power BI from different platforms, different sources, and how we can build a dashboard on it. Okay, so I will be sharing the database, and
Hi there,
we
I
will
am
also
Sialuk
see
Sethi. I
how
am
to
a
create
talent.
a dashboard. Okay, this is going to be a live session for an hour, and in this live session we are going to talk about the basics of Power BI and how one can start learning Power BI. Okay, so be there till the end of the session so that you can learn a lot of things that we are going to discuss today. Okay, so just a minute.
Hi there, I am Sialuk Sethi.
So, have you ever used Power BI? वीडियो अनअवेलेबल शो हो रहा है गुरजोत उस लिंक पे। उसको रन करके देखो, इज इट वर्किंग? रन करके देखिए।
हो तो रही है।
हो रही है लाइव? मेरे को क्यों नहीं दिखा? चलिए, गुड। So we'll be learning Power BI today, and Power BI is a software which is used to do data visualization, to present the data in a visual format. ठीक है, हम अपने डेटा से काफी सारी स्टोरी कह सकते हैं, तो उस स्टोरी को बयां करने का एक तरीका है पावर बीआई। ठीक है, तो नाउ आई विल बी शेयरिंग माय स्क्रीन, and on my screen you will be able to see different tools that are available when how you can use Power BI. Okay, and Power BI is a very powerful tool which is almost used by each and every corporate to present the data in a graphical manner. Okay, so now let me share my screen. So I'll be sharing my screen now, and we will be able to see some things on the screen. And from that screen, you will be able to work on with the data. I'm sharing the data in the chat box also. So you can download the data from there, and you can see. So Power BI is a Microsoft product which is developed by Microsoft for helping us in doing data visualization. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Okay. So today what we are going to do is we are going to create a dashboard in Power BI. Now, what is a dashboard? A dashboard is a software, or you can say it is a graphical representation of data which tells you about the data that a company has in a form of picture or graphs, and on the basis of that you can do a lot of analysis which becomes very easy to see. So what we'll do is we will connect to a data source. To start using Power BI, what you need to do is you need to connect to a data source. So we'll connect on get data. And when you connect to when you use the get data option, you will see there are different choices available. Like you have Excel sheet, you have text, you have XML, you have JSON, you have folder, PDF, SQL. So you can connect the data from different sources to Power BI. बहुत सारे sources available है. More than 100 sources are there, and all the latest sources are there like GitHub, LinkedIn, Meta, Facebook. You can get the data from anywhere. Even Google Analytics is there, and many other platforms you might not have heard of also. Okay, like you can get it from Zoho Creator also. So there are different sources available through which we can connect to the data source. So today what we are going to do is we are going to learn how to connect to our data from multiple sources. So multiple sources means I will take multiple files from Excel. So when you want to connect to a multiple file, there are two options. There are two methods in which we can do. Number one is to select Excel workbook. So when you select Excel workbook, it will ask the address of the workbook. It will ask for like which workbook you want to connect to. Okay, which workbook do you want to connect to? So in this, what we will do is we will give the path of the workbook. So in my desktop, I have a folder called as international. Okay, and in that international folder, I have got some workbook, but you don't see any files over here, because when I click on all files, now you can see. Now these files, although it looks like Excel files, but they are not actually Excel file. Can anyone tell me like which file format is this?
A CSV file, sir.
It is a CSV file. It is not an Excel file, right? You're very right. So when we select a CSV file, it will not load because what we have selected as a data source is Excel. So to connect a CSV file, we have to select the source as CSV. So now I have selected a CSV source as a file, and now I will click on the folder. Now you see all the 4 files. Okay, but the problem is that we cannot select all the 4 files together. We cannot select all the 4 files at one go. So now what we need to do, we need to add one by one. We need to add the first file, then import the second file, then import the third file, and then import the 4th file. Okay, now there are only 4 files, so you might do it one by one also. But if there are more than 4 files, or if there are, let's say, 10 files or 40 files, it will be for anyone to do it manually one by one, because it will take a lot of time, and time is money. We don't have that much. So what should be done now? So Power BI gives you one more option to import the data from a folder. So what we can do is we can import the data from folder. So what we will do is we will import the data from a folder. So get data, and then you will see an option of folder. Can you see the option of folder?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so we have the option of folder. Okay, and now we will click on connect. What I'm doing is I'm sharing the file in the Zoom chat also, the folder link. You can download the file so you can simultaneously work with me. Okay, so I'm sharing this folder with you. So these are 4 files I've shared. You put it in a folder and then give a link to this folder in the path. Okay, you can save the files in the desktop and you can connect to it. So when I choose the folder path, so in my desktop, I have this folder international, and in this international, I have all the files. So I will click on OK. And now you see that the folder path is visible over here, which is C drive, users, admin, desktop, and international. Now I will click on OK. Now, when I click on OK, you will see different options like combine, load, transform data, and cancel. Okay. Now, generally, what we do is when we don't want to clean the data or when we have the data from one source only, we can directly load the data. But here we cannot directly load the data. The reason being because the data is to be combined from multiple sources. So you see in the table, you see content, name, extension, date access, date modified, date created, attributes, and folder path. Now we will click on combine. In the combine, there are 2 options. One is combine and transform data, combine and load. So first I want to combine and transform the data also. So I will select combine and transform data. It will take some time and you will see a navigator screen now. Okay, it will connect to the data and what do you see next is a navigator. Now, what is a navigator? Navigator or basically these combined files. So in the navigator, what you'll do is so you have the option of now combine files. So what we are doing is we are combining multiple files into Power BI from different sources. The source is CSV. Okay, so this is showing us the first file. So there are 4 Excel files. You can see the first Excel file is CA sales, then you have DE sales, then you have FR sales, and these are MX sales. So what are these CA, DE, FR, MX? CA stands for Canada, DE stands for Denmark, FR stands for France, and MX stands for Mexico. So these are the sales data from 4 different countries, and we want to combine them together and create a report. So I will select the first file as CSS. It has product ID, date, zip, unit, revenue, and country. And I will click on OK. Now, when I click on OK, now what it will do is it is running a query and it is trying to import the data from the folder which I have mentioned in the path. So we will wait for it to load the data, and once the data is loaded, then we will proceed further. Satyajit, I think you have downloaded the files by now. Okay, so now it will load the data. So once the data is loaded, then we can start working with the data. So you can see that the data have now it is loading the data from all the files. So if the files are of bigger size, it will take some time. If the files do not have much data, then it will be loaded immediately. Okay, so now you can see that the data is loaded. Now, how do we confirm whether the data is loaded or not? So when you click on international, now this in Power BI, there are 3 tabs. One is the report view, second is the table view, and third one is the model view. So we will go to the model view now. In the model view, you see only one table, that is country, data, date, product ID, revenue, source name. Now in this source name, you will have different options. It will show you like from where the data has come, this source name column. Okay, and now we can go to the data view, table view. So basically table view will tell us the content of the table. Okay, table view will tell us the content of the table. So now if you see the source name, it is showing us FR sales, CA sales, DE sale, FR sale, and MX sales. That means all the 4 files have been now combined. I hope you are getting it. All the 4 files have now been combined. Let me show you the folder from where I have taken the files. So here is the folder called as international. Let me share my entire screen so that you can see the folder also now. So can you see the folder now? Do you see a folder which is having 4 files? CA sales, DE sales, FR sales, and MX sales.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in this folder, we have 4. Is present in all the 4 files, so as to check whether the data is having the same headings or not, same data type or not. So we have product ID, we have date, we have zip, unit, revenue, and country. It is in the CA sales. Now when I open DE sales, it will also show the same columns, even the FR sales and even the MX sales. But the problem was that we wanted to create a combined report, and to create a combined report, I have to combine all these data. Now, suppose the same task we have to do in Excel. How can we do that? So you have the DE sales. This is the DE sales. So it also has the same columns like product ID, date, zip, unit, and revenue and country. And similarly for the MX also, and for the FR sales also. So all the 4 files are having same data columns, but the rows, they having different data. So each location has some sales, and there are some 2 lakh or 3 lakh records in one file, in each file. Okay. So what we have done is we have imported this data into Power BI through using the folder option, and in the folder option we selected CSV because these are all CSV files, and we loaded the file into Power BI. Now in Power BI, what we want to do is we want to create a visual. Okay. Now I hope everyone is comfortable with these steps. You must have understood how we combine the files in Power BI. Okay. And now it is showing me the source name also, and these columns. I basically don't require the source name. Okay, I don't want this column. So what we can do is we can delete this column. Okay, so we will delete this column. And now we have ID, product ID, date, zip, unit, revenue, and country. Okay, so this is the data that I'm having. Now let us go to the report view. Now, one thing we need to check is that each column is having the current data identification. This product is a whole number, it is showing product ID is a number. This date is having a date, it is formatted as date. This zip code is text, but what we can do is, it is a text let it be as text only. Unit should be whole number, revenue is in decimals, and country is a text. Okay, in the data category, in the country, you can put as country because then when we load it as a map, it will be easier for us. Okay, so now country is defined as a country. Even the zip code you can define as a postal code. That will also give you the right data type. Okay, so once you do that, now we can go to the report view. And in the report view, you will see all these tabs over here. So country is now showing location, data, date we have, then product ID, revenue and units. These are all numbers. Product ID, actually it is showing as a sigma, but I don't want to use it as a measure. I want to use product ID as a dimension. So I will go to product ID, and in summarization, I will say don't summarize. Okay, so when I do that, what will happen? From the product ID, you will not see the sigma button over here. Okay, so some small changes we have done to the data. Now let us start building the Power BI report. Let us start building the Power BI report. So what we will do now is we will start building the report, and first thing that I want to do is I want to create a table. So I will name this first page as a table, because table will give us an idea about what all data are we having in the report, in the database. Okay, so now to create a report, what we need to do is we need to first select the data. Okay, and from the data we will select country. So country, now see, when I selected country, it is showing me a map. Okay, and it is showing me some dots over here. So one is dot is at Canada, second dot is at Mexico. Okay, so I told you that there are 4 countries in which we have our data, the sales from. And what do you see? Where else do you see the dots? So here also we see some. This is the 2 dots over here. And now what I will do is I will first I wanted to have a table. So why it created a map? Because by default, country we have defined as a territory, as a geography. So it has put as a geographical location. Now, instead of that, what I will do is I would like to have the table as a format. So what I will do is I will select from the visuals. I will select from the visuals a table. So you need to go to the visual and you will select a table. So we need to select a table. So you will see a blank format over here. It's a blank table which is visible on the left hand side of the screen. Okay, it's a blank table. It is movable. You can put it anywhere you want. Okay, let us increase the size of this, and it has some blank fields. So the next task is to add the data to it. Okay, so now we are going to add some data, and the data that we are going to add depends on the field that were available in the Excel, okay, or the CSV file. So what I will do now is I will go to the data tab, and from the data tab I can see country. So I will first select country, and now you will see the names of the countries. Okay, do you see Canada, France, Mexico, Germany?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, and now you see units. So after the country we are selecting units, and then we are selecting what? Revenue. So from this table we understand that in this data set there are 4 countries: Canada, France, Germany, Mexico. In the 4 countries there are these are the number of units that are sold, and these are the revenue that is generated. Okay, so that is the first visual that we have created. Now if I want to format this visual, what I can do is I can go to format, And first of all, I would like to put a title. So I will keep the title on and I will write down country wise sales. Okay, so this is my title. I can make it bold. I can increase the size of the title. I can change the color of the title. I can bring it in. I can put a background color also. Like, let me put a light background, and I can change the, I can put it in the center also. Okay. So this is how the table will look like. We can reduce the size of the table. So this is my visual. Okay. Now, what else we can do? So this is our visual. Now, what we will do is, in the table, in this visual, I want to make this heading also look bold. Okay, this country, sum of units and sum of revenue. I don't want sum of revenue and units. I just want units and revenue. So now what I'm going to do, just look at it. So I will go to format, and in this first I will set this table. Now when you go to the format option, okay, you will see some things over here. Like we had formatted the title, so we can just put it off. Now we don't want any subtitle, right? So if you want a subtitle, you can put a subtitle also. If you don't want, you can just put it off. If you want to have a divider, a line below, you can put a divider. If you want to increase the spacing between the title and the rows, you can put the spacing. If you want to set some preset, you can set like bold header. I wanted a bold header, so I've selected a preset like this bold header. If you want to have alternating or let's say bold header with flashy rows, so that can be there, but it's not looking that great. So we will select. This looks perfect, like dark borders, background for the headings and the total, and you have this text over here, and I will increase the size of the table so that I can see all the 4 countries. Okay, today we will restrict our discussion to the tables only, and we will understand what all we can do with the table, right? And now we will talk about the values. So if you want to change the font in the values, so you can change the font. Okay, so let us put this back to a good font. Let's say Cambria I want to use. And if you want to bold, you can bold the text. If you want to change the text color, you can select any other color which you want to put. Okay, and if you want to put a background color in the table also, you can put a background color as well. It will put alternate background color. If you want to put the same color in all the rows, you can select same. If you want to have some different colors, you can have some different colors as well. Okay, so this is how our table is looking. Now what I want to do is I want to sort. I wanted to change the headings of the table. So you will go to column headers, and in the column headers you can make it in center. Okay, and in the options you will get the option to change the names also. So we will go to values, and in the values, or what you can do is directly from this you can change the title. Okay, so when you double click on this, this will actually give the option of sorting the data. So now we have the data sorted. So we have the first sale, the country with the highest sale is France, then it's Germany, then it's Mexico, then it's Canada. Okay, so it's all about how we can arrange the data in the table, how we can arrange the data into the table. So this is the first format that we had discussed for today. Okay, and what else we can do? We wanted to change the headers. Okay, so we can go to cell elements, and we want to, if you want to put a background color, you can put a background color also in the cells, but you have to define like what will be the base for the background color. Okay, I don't want to change the color right now. I want to change the values and I don't want it to show the sum of units and sum of sales. So when you go to title and then values, okay, it is showing me all this. Column headers. Options, auto width on, text wrap on, off. Okay. So what we can do is we can go to the this year and here we can rename it. Okay, so where we can do instead of sum of units, rename for this visual, you will get an option of rename for this visual. So when you click on rename, it will activate, it will allow you to rename from it, and you can just remove the sum of, and now you will see only revenue. Similarly, when you want to remove the sum of units, you will click on right click on it, and then you will go to rename for this visual, and you will also rename this. So now we have country, we have units, and we have revenue. So this is what a table looks like in Power BI. Now we will do one thing, we will create one more visual. This is the first visual. Now we want to see the visual in a form of a chart or a bar. Okay. So what you can do is we will select the second visual, that is a bar chart. We will create a bar chart. So to create a bar chart, we will select this. Sorry. First, you will click anywhere outside and then you will select this bar chart. You will get a blank bar chart like we got a table. You can expand this bar chart. Okay. And now what we are going to do is we are going to present the same thing, that is the country. And I want to see the revenue for each country. So in the x-axis, in the y-axis, I will select first the country. So I will select the country and put it in the y-axis. And in the x-axis, I want to have revenue. So you can see the 4 countries name, that is France, Germany, Mexico, Canada. Okay. And what I want is I want the countries to be represented by different colors. And also I want the data labels over there. So this is called as a bar chart. Okay. Because you can see 4 horizontal bars. And I would also like to rename the categories. So first I will click on this, right click on this and say rename for this visual. And instead of sum of revenue, I will just say say revenue by country. Revenue by country. And now you have all the countries name like France, Germany, Mexico, and Canada. Okay. Now I want to do some more formatting. Now, what are the different options that you have in this thing? So instead of revenue, if you want to add units also, we can add units also. Okay, but since the units are very less and the revenue is more, you will not see them together. It is not a correct approach to put in the legend. What we can do is in the legend, we can put maybe product ID. But now it will divide the bar into different product ID. There were more like 36 different product IDs. So even that will not make sense. So we're not putting anything just for the sake of putting it. But I wanted to show you like what all options do you have when you are creating a visual. Okay. So what we will do is we will restrict ourselves to limited information. Okay. Now suppose multiple small multiples we have. Here we can put the product ID over here. So it will give you the chart in a much elaborated manner. Like for all the countries, you will get all these options. So let us not put this. Now what we can do is we can put the date also. And let us say in the date, I will put month. So it will divide everything by month. So here you have the month-wise sales of all the countries. So you can find out like which month, which country has done what. Or suppose you want to have only the quarters. So you can select the date, and in the date you can select quarter. So it will show you 4 quarters sale. We don't have to create 4 different bar charts, but we can divide the same bar chart into different quarters based on the multiples. Now, what is the tooltip? So when I click on this, when I hover on this, I don't see any value over here. So, but when I add, suppose I want to add units also, I can add unit to tooltip. So when I click on this, when I hover on this mouse, on this bar, I will see the units also separately. Okay. So that is the use of a tooltip basically. It will show you the different units and the sales. Now, let us do some formatting so as to see the data also. We are not seeing any data, so we will format this. So how to format this? So to format, what we will do is we will go to view menu. In the view, you will get this format option. So you will click on format. First select the visual. Then in the format, you will have different options like style and size and style. So that will be the size of the visual. Okay, so if you want to increase the height or the width, you can change it from here. Okay, if you want to remove the background, you can remove the background. There is no background. We want to put visual border. We want to add shadow. We can add. Okay, now you'll go to title, and in the title, I just want revenue and units by country. So revenue and units by country. Sum of revenue and units by country. And now what you'll do is you will, if you want to change the font of the headings, you can change the font. You can change the color size also. So we see that revenue and units by country. Now the font size is increasing. You can put a background color to make it more attractive. Okay, you can make it bold. Now, and we can make it in, we can put it in center. So now even this chart is ready. Okay. Now what we will do is we want to put on the data labels. So we'll put on the data labels. So you will see in the data label, I will put it as inside and. So it will show you inside the bars, and this value, I will increase the size of this data label values, so you can read them properly, and looks good. Now what we will do is we will change the color of the bars. So to change the color of the bar, what you need to go is you need to go to the bar, and you will see show all. In the color, you will say select all, and you can manually change it, or you can change it based on the function also. So if you want to change based on the function, you can say we can say a gradient. Okay, if you want to use some shade or field value, so we can select a field value as country, and no, we will not select field value. We will select gradient. Okay, and I will select 2 color code. So maybe this one and this one. Okay, and I'll now see. So it has now changed the color of the different countries. If you want to put a different color, you can select any color that you want to put. So in Canada, I put a different color. Mexico, Germany, France, I want to have some different shade. So you can say select color as per your choice also. And you have to remove the conditional formatting in that case. If you want to put, if you are putting your color of your choice, then remove the conditional formatting, because it will not make any sense. So we can manually put the colors for the different countries as I am putting. Okay, so once we are done, what else we can do is we can change the size, we can increase the size of the headings on the y-axis. So I'll go to y-axis, and in the values, I will make them bold first, and I will increase the size to 14 so that all the names of the countries also look proper. And now this is our second chart. Okay. Now what we'll do is we will create one more chart. Okay. So this is our table, and this is our bar chart. We will create one more chart, and that is a pie chart. Okay, so what I will do is I'll go to home. In the home, I will select this, or let us create a donut chart. That would also look good. So in the donut chart, what I will put is I will put countries. And we can increase the space for our donut, so it looks good. Okay, if you want to put if you want to make some more space, what you can do is you can remove this thing legends, and it will save some more space. And instead of legends, you can put the data label on. So what I will do is in the legends, I'm putting out the legends, and data labels, I can put it inside. Okay, and I can put the category also. So category and percentage of total. So now it will show me, this pie chart is now showing me the country and their share in the total revenue. So we have Canada is contributing 9% of the sales. France is contributing 37% of the sales. Germany is contributing 28%. Mexico is contributing 26% of the sales. Okay. So that was our agenda for today. And next, we will have one more session on Sunday, on the coming Sunday. And on the coming Sunday, I will show you some more visuals, some more tools in Power BI that we can use. So I hope you like the session and you learn a lot of things from it. All those who are watching us on YouTube, if you want to attend the next session, you can comment. If you want the practice files, you can comment in the comment section. I will share the link to download the files also. Okay, so it's a very good software, very interesting visuals you can create from it. So keep practicing, keep learning, and see you in the next session whenever we conduct it. Mostly we will be conducting the session on Sunday, so you will be informed about it. And till then, happy learning. Thank you.